Hello, potato. In this video, I'm going to try something a little different. Not in the way that I'll try different things like boxed teas and weird imported snacks, but something just like totally different for the channel. Because as always, this channel is primarily for my interest, and if you enjoy it, all the better. But it's what entertains me. So, in the last year, my wife has started keeping a garden a little bit more regularly. She plants vegetables, we have potted plants, that sort of thing. But here in the part of California that we live in, it is not uncommon for the weather to get down to freeze. Now, not to like -9 like in Wisconsin. Then of course, it regularly gets into the 30s here, but it's not like, our entire infrastructure collapses every time a little ice forms on the windshield. But what does happen is, you have to run out there and you have to cover all the plants up with the plastic bags and the blankets. And then you have to remember to take the bags off afterwards because you don't want them getting too hot when the sun comes out. And it can be kind of a pain, especially if you have a lot of plants to cover up. So my wife decided to get one of those little glorified play tent greenhouses, the kind that are, I think, primarily meant for doing your seedlings in, so the birds don't come and get them, and so that the worst of the weather doesn't hit them. But also functions as a very large frost protection bag. All you do is go out there and you zip the door shut, and you have essentially a big plastic bag over all the plants that are inside of it. And to protect it from the wind, which is, hasn't been bad this year, can be an issue here. To protect it from the wind, we have a little alcove on the side of the house that the little greenhouse fits in perfectly, which protects it from the wind. So you have the plants now protected from the ice and protected from the wind. Unfortunately, the little alcove also protects them from the sun, which they kind of need. So some of the plants do seem to be doing a little poorly in there. And we've tried leaving the little light over the greenhouse on, but predictably that does absolutely nothing because it's just like a house light. It's not there physically for the plants. It's there so you don't stub your toe walking in and out. So I thought that what we need to try is some sort of a grow light. The little greenhouse is pretty slight, but I think I found this, which should fit the bill. It's a little big for the table, but here it is. So this is supposed to be a grow light. Ordered it from Amazon. And I'm not sure if this is an Amazon box or if this is the box like the manufacturer, because it looks like there's a little arts and crafts going on here. Maybe the box is a variable length, but the arts and crafts is just on the lid. The base is a set size, so I'm not sure what the deal there is. But so this video is going to take a number of weeks to actually record. I'm recording this towards the middle of January. I'm not sure when it will release because my plan is, assuming this all actually works, we're going to hang it up in the greenhouse. We'll go out there and do that. And then we'll check back up on it each week to see if it's having any positive effect on the plants, or indeed any effect at all. Now, obviously, this is something from Amazon. It's extremely inexpensive. It's very, very light, which is actually good for what I want to use it for. So we're not going to leave it on 24 hours a day. We're not going to leave it on when we're not here. I do not trust this to not catch fire the moment we stop looking at it. But yeah, we're going to see if it has any effect on the plants. But first, let's see what we have in the box. See what our grow light is composed of. And then we'll head outside, check out the greenhouse as it is, and see if we can hang this up the way I'm hoping that we can. I'm hoping we can just hang, because there's a central support bar in there. I'm hoping. Okay, it is an Amazon box. It does have that answers one question. There is actually, I don't think I can position it so you can see it, but there you go. There's the Amazon logo on the box. I don't want to break stuff moving this box around. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's up with this lid. All right, it is an Amazon box, but it does seem what's inside is very slight. Okay, this is different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit wider than that, but that's probably fine. We got just paper. Okay, so yeah, this was just the Amazon shipping box. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so this is definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be, but again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a small space. I don't think the whole greenhouse is much, I think it's like 5 feet wide. So a 4-foot light should be perfect. I just thought it was gonna be a little wider than this, but that's fine. I am not upset as long as it works. It's not a very big space. All right, let's see what all we get in here. You can hear bits rattling around, which I'm hoping are just the bits for hanging it up with. So here is the actual light itself. Some of the bits. Oh, it does not want to come out. So it's got a metal frame and a plastic cover. And I am just dropping this. Is more the... Okay. I think that's our stuff for hanging it with. Oh, we got more bits here. Hold on. So yeah, my thought is that we'll use these to just hang it from the central support of the greenhouse. And it is... the switch is catching. That's what that ripping noise is it's ripping the box. All right, yeah, there's a little pull chain to... That doesn't seem... Can we fix... And see, now I'm breaking stuff. That is exactly what I wanted to avoid doing. All right. It's free. It's free. And one more bit in here. Hold on. So the cord is shorter than I thought it was going to be. That's... Okay, I guess this is to protect our eyes when looking at the ultraviolet light. So it is supposed to just be an ultraviolet light. Hold on, I need to stop and fix something real quick. Right back. Okay, that's fixed. So yeah, this cord is shorter than I thought it would be. That may be an issue. So there's a power outlet in that little alcove, but I was hoping this would be long enough that we could just run it down and under the back of the tent. But my wife was thinking we would need to cut a hole in the back of the tent because it's an outdoor plug socket. It has one of those little doors on it that she thought would be in a problem trying to open behind the tent. And I don't think it will be, but I think we have to still cut through it like she said, just because this cord is actually a lot shorter. This is, well, it's a 4-foot light, so it's probably about a 5-foot cord. Yeah, I was hoping for more like 6 or 7. But we will make it work. So let's see if this works first of all. I guess I should put on the protective glasses. There's actually instructions here. Let's glance at the instructions real quick. See, this is the stuff I thought was coming in here. I don't remember seeing these. I'm not sure we're gonna use, because this is what I planned on using, was these little wires here. Because my thought is, if I can get it open, here we go. My thought is to run the wires, because they have little clips on them, through the little holes on the end here, and then just hang this up like this, with this side to the back, so the cord could run down and under the... Now that is unfortunately somewhat inconvenient, because that's also where the switch is down at that end, which does mean like reaching over the plants to pull. But we could just buy some more this kind of chain, like go to Lowe's and buy some of this like a ball chain and lengthen this to make it easier to pull from the front. But yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's pull wire switch to control, turn on and off lamp. Multiple lamps can be connected in series. That's good to know. I mean, so there's a plug socket on this? There is, sort of. There is a... Oh, I can't get it in front of the camera. Hold on. There is a bit of a... I want to not knock things over again. It's a bit of a plug socket. You know, we'll look at it when we get outside. It's just not enough room in here. But it looks like you can... Doesn't seem to come with any wires to do that with. Because it's definitely not going to use the same plugs I'm using for the wall to connect it together. Note, UK plugs are not suitable for this socket. Well, luckily I'm not in the UK. So yeah, that's kind of what my looking to do here on a much smaller scale. See, I thought it was gonna be wider like that. I didn't think it was gonna be a narrow one like this. And I just didn't look that closely at it on the picture online, I suppose. Wiring method, pull wire, installation method. So I guess maybe the end comes out? No, install the wire thing. No, that's nothing to do with what I'm thinking of. All right. So what's the black lanyard for? Or is that an option? I don't understand these. Because I was just going to clip these to the central pole in the greenhouse. I don't understand what these are for. I'm going to have to go back and look at the Amazon listing because I don't imagine I'm going to get a lot of answers out of this instruction booklet. But, so it seems to be a pulley. I guess just so you can adjust the height. So maybe if I attach these to the top, attach this to this, and then I could adjust the height as need. How do I do that though? Oh, there we go. So you pull this piece up and then you can adjust it. So I don't know, maybe I will use those because that's a good idea, but ultimately if I don't use those, I could probably find other use for these. That's actually, I didn't know those were included. That's actually pretty cool. All right, but I don't know if we're gonna need them. We'll see when we get out there. I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing of assembling it on camera. We'll look at the situation and then we'll hang the light and go back to it. So I guess I'm supposed to wear these when I have it on because it's ultraviolet. Precautions. Please read the installation manual carefully. We've done that as much as we're going to. Please turn off the power and prohibit power operation. When installing, refer to step 2 for wiring and steps. Well, we're not doing any wiring to speak of. Most products it doesn't say anything about the glasses. I knew my glasses. I remember seeing the glasses in the listing. I just didn't look too closely at what they were for, but I'm guessing it's because this is a UV lamp. And I don't want to be looking at it. So let's try on my stylish dollar store black glasses here. I'm going to assume they are actually going to do something to prevent me from blinding myself with the UV, but one should never assume such things. All right, I'm gonna plug it in and we'll see what it does. Got the plug cover off. And this won't do anything weird to the camera, I hope. It's turned on. Well, through the glasses, it looks red, white, and blue. I don't know what it looks like to you on the camera. And given that, I have protective glasses, I'm not going to take them off and stare into it like an idiot. So yeah, seems pretty straightforward. It doesn't look like it's ultraviolet to me. It looks like just like red, white, and blue LEDs. So I have questions about whether this is actually going to do anything, but that's sort of the whole point of this video, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it works. It's very light, which is good for what I want to use it for. And yeah, I guess the next step is we're going to go take a look at the greenhouse so we can see what it looks like now, as get kind of a base level to start out, so we can see if things actually do improve over weeks. Then we'll hang this up, check it out functioning in place. Again, I think we may ultimately need to get something else, a bit of string or something to attach to the end of this, just so we can reach it from the front of the greenhouse, not have to step inside because there are plants on the floor of it, and it's not very big. Like I said, it's basically a glorified play tent. And then we'll try it out, and then we'll come back week to week and look for improvement. So let's head outside and check out the greenhouse. Here is the greenhouse as it currently stands. It's like, basically, like I said, a kind of a glorified play tent sort of a structure. It's not like a big glass or plastic thing. And you see the plants in it, while it has done a good job of protecting them from the wind and the cold, it's also protected them from the daylight. And some of the plants are looking a little bit sorry for themselves as a result. This is light we've been trying to use, and obviously being just a house bulb, it doesn't do a thing, or at least if it does, it's not doing a lot of things. So we're hoping that this will take care of that. So we've also got out here our little bag of odds and ends that came with the light. We got ourselves an extension cord Because there's the plug socket I was talking about, and while, yeah, we could just cut a hole in the back there, I'm kind of loath to do that, just because what if we want to pull this out and use it as more of a proper greenhouse, meaning having a big hole in the back of it would not be a good thing. Plus, I think with this the 5-foot cord, it still wouldn't have been long enough to plug in anyways, so might as well get an extension cord. And we did get an extension cord here. We picked up a 15-footer. They had 10-foot. I mean, obviously 15 feet is way too long. They had 10-foot, but it was like $1 less, so I might as well buy the 15. And we wanted to get one with like a flat plug, but apparently they don't make outdoor cords with flat plugs. You know, the kind that, like if you're putting them on a bookshelf or a couch or something, and you don't want pressure being put on that cord. Yeah, the flat ones that go sideways. Yeah, apparently they make them for outdoors. Lowe's doesn't know about it. So we couldn't do that. And then also, so the plan is to hang the light from this central pole up here. It's got those carabiners. We'll hang them from that. And then I'm going to use this florist's wire here to tie the extension cord to that and run it to this end. Because the other issue we had with this was that the chain on it for the switch is kind of short, and reaching all the way to the back here, which, you know, with the plants in the way, would be a little bit of a pain. So I figured if I'm going to use an extension cord anyways, might as well just put the light facing this direction towards the front, so the chain should be like right here, making it easier to turn on and off. Alternately, if too many trips out here in 30-degree weather proves to be annoying, we can always just, you know, get a remote control thing to put in between the plug socket and the rest of the assembly. So with that said, I'm going to try to set this up now, and we will come back when I have the light set up and see what it looks like when it's going. So we've installed the light now, and here it is. So initially, the putting it together was fairly easy. The metal clips just go in there. Now, the wire that it comes with is way longer than I needed, so I couldn't use it and the pulleys together properly, but there's no way to attach this to the light without using the wire. So what we did was we just kind of still use the wire, but it's more of like a safety. If the pulleys fail, this will keep it from falling. But it's hooked to the pulleys, which are nice and adjustable. We've got it almost to the top. It's a very short greenhouse. So if you had, like, there's a lot of play on these pulleys. If you had like a space where you need to hang it from reasonably high, you have a lot of space to adjust there. We ran the extension cord to the top central support of the greenhouse, and then down the back to the plug socket. No holes cut in anything, nothing broken, nothing ruined. Similar assembly up here at the front. The poles on this are just almost exactly the same size as the openings on the carabiner. So it took a little forcing to get them on there, but they're on there now. It's all set up. Obviously, to put the plants back in, we had to pull plants out to get in here. But it's all put together. So let's put on our protective eyewear and turn it on and give it a try. And hopefully, hey, there we go. So yeah, we're gonna move all the plants back inside now. And then in a week, I'll come back out and we'll see where we're at, see how the plants are doing. Obviously, can't see all the plants right now because some of them are pulled out. But we'll come back in a week, get an update on this, see what it looks like, and do that a few times before we post this video to see if this this grow light did anything out here at all. So I will see you back here in a week. It is now a week later. The light was installed 1 week ago, and as you can see, it's still up there and fine. Nothing has fallen down. It hasn't come loose or anything. So I guess I installed it pretty decently. So the question is, what do you think? Do you think there's been any change in the way the plants look? Do they look any better? If you think they look any better, it's almost certainly nothing to do with the light, because we have basically forgotten to turn it on most nights. It's only been on a couple nights. And so, yeah, I mean, if there's any effect, we're probably not going to see it just yet. I mean, 1 week was probably, even if we had remembered to turn it on, was probably not going to show much results. But if we don't get into the habit of turning it on, it might be worth it to either get a timer for it or to at least get a remote so to walk outside for it. It's actually also it's been pretty rainy. We've had I think a near freeze one night, and then we've had a couple days of pretty harsh rain. Of course, in here for the freeze, just close the little flap on the greenhouse to basically put a giant bag over the whole thing, and that's protecting that. And the rain is not really getting affected by it because it is both under a cover and inside the little greenhouse. So yeah, we're going to try to work on getting in the habit of turning that light on when we get home at night. At least, letting it run for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, and of course longer on the weekends. And we'll come back next weekend and take another look at it, get another update, see if there's been any progress. So let's while we're here, let's turn it on now. And I'll see you back here in one more week. It is now the end of January. This is the second week we've had the light up, and I don't know if things look necessarily better, but I don't think anything looks worse, which is good. It is, for the end of January, it is, I would say unseasonably warm, but I don't think we really have seasons anymore, but it is like almost 70 degrees out here. And probably a nice little break for the plants. It's not been like super cold. We haven't had any freezing. We've had like a lot of rain, but it's like, I don't think it's gotten below the 40s. But so here's where we are as of 2 weeks now of having the light up. We have actually had the light on at least a couple hours every night this last week, so they have been getting exposure to it. And I mean, I think most things look healthy. If it's not helping, it certainly isn't hurting. Honestly, I think this, even though it's outside the greenhouse, it's still been getting exposed to the light. I think actually looks like really like darker green than it did before. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But inside, yeah, I think everything looks pretty good. I mean, that one in the back corner, I think, was pretty much close to dead to start with. So I don't know if that's improving or not. But yeah, it's definitely not hurting anything as far as I can tell. At least not hurting any of the plants. So yeah, we will try back again in another week. It'll put us into February. And yeah, I'm not sure how long I'm going to go on this before just like deciding it's either good or it isn't and posting it. But I think 2 weeks is not enough time. We have to, I think, give it at least 4 weeks, at least 2 more updates. And then we'll make a decision as to whether or not it has done any good. But of course, it's easier for you. You can just kind of scroll back to the second update here and see what as far as how it looks. I have to actually go and look at the video to see if there's any differences, because I'm in the past and you're in the future, and it's already been shot and edited, and you can just go back and forth. I can't do that yet. So yeah, let's put the light on for today, and then I will see you back here for you momentarily, for me, in another week, and we'll see what it looks like then. Here we are now at week number 3. It's been 3 weeks since we installed the grow light in the greenhouse, and I still need to go back and look at the video. I know I said that in the other 2 updates as well, but I do feel like there is actually some positive effect from the light, or at least some positive effect while the light's been in here. I mean, the fact that it's happened at the same time as the light doesn't mean the light's necessarily causing it. Could just be the greenhouse itself causing it. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone or how bad it sounds. It may just be ruining the sound in this update. But we are having a bit of a windstorm today, and so you're wondering, one definite change in here, of course, is that we now have these yard lights and yard decorations stuck in here in an attempt to protect them from the wind. I don't think the wind would have caused much of a problem for them, but I guess better safe than sorry. And indeed, we've actually had the door to the greenhouse has been closed for most of this week, so I don't know if that's been having an effect. It definitely has been trapping moisture in, because we've been having rain for most of the week, and then, like I said, wind today, which you probably can at least hear. I think the house is blocking the worst of it, but it's very loud out here from it rushing through all the trees. Let's look at the plants instead of the back of the wall there. All right. But yeah, things that seem healthy, like this seems like really, really green. Look like the guy in the back corner that doesn't seem to be doing that. May just have been like, kind of on its way out the door anyways. If I actually stick my head in here, right, there we go. That should hopefully block any wind from hitting the mic. Oh, I said as wind blows right around me. But yeah, I think one more update. We'll do one more update, but I think at the very least we can say for certain that the light's not doing any harm. The light has again been on for at least a couple hours every day this past week, and it has been functioning fine. So yeah, that's certainly nothing bad to report, but we'll take one more look next week to finish off this little series, and yeah, just see what has occurred, and by that point I will actually maybe start editing the video and see what it looked like those first 3 weeks, including this one, before I shoot the last part of it. So yeah, see you again in 1 week, or in as long as it takes to do a little clock wipe. Oh, I should probably turn the light on, shouldn't I? And then I'm going to close the door again. This is going to be the last update on the Grow Light project. It's been 2 weeks since the previous one, not for any particular reason, just because, I don't know, I guess to give it a little more extra time to see if it was going to work. And looking at it, I've been editing the video. I've been looking through it to try to see if there's been any particular changes. I do feel like maybe these plants down here have gotten a little bit greener. Maybe the same with the spider plant over here. But overall, I don't know that it's done a ton of good, but it certainly hasn't done any harm. But it seems like now is a good time to finish up this video. It's actually been different weather like in every one of these little updates. Today it is starting to rain a little bit. We're supposed to get another one of those atmospheric river things like we had in the previous update, where we had a lot of wind. The wind isn't supposed to be as bad this time, but we are supposed to get more rain. And so I'm going to finish this up, get this video put out, because it's also time to start planting the new plants for this year. And I think my wife is probably going to use this greenhouse for the seedlings, probably kind of over here where the garden lights are sitting. And I thought that might be another video to look at, just kind of monitor the progress of the seedlings and see if the grow light there has been having any effect on them. But I don't know to say really that the grow light has had a tremendous positive effect. There's not been a control group or anything. This wasn't a scientific experiment. We don't have a second greenhouse with no grow light to see what happens without any grow light interaction at all. But I feel like it's been pretty successful. I think nothing's died, so it hasn't hurt anything. And I do feel like there maybe is a little more greenery in some things. I think some of the things like that and that one over there in the corner that just looked pretty bad to start with still look pretty bad, or indeed may actually be dead. But overall, the grow light seems to have done what it was meant to do. So we're going to continue using it. Say if my wife does do some seedlings in here, maybe we'll do like some quick videos on those, or like, you know, a just compilation of updates sort of things on those. But otherwise, probably back to mostly trying junk food. This actually might have gotten a little bit less green, but that could be because we've had more cold and rain and wind. That might have affected. I think that looked a little bit more vibrantly green in an earlier update. But still, overall, a successful experiment. And I hope you found it at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, there's not going to be if you're here for gardening content, it probably isn't going to be a lot of that. That's really more my wife's thing than mine. But, if something interesting comes up, or, that I find interesting comes up, I will probably do a video on it. But I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.